What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Party Chat podcast. I'm your host, ISA Scout Glenn, and we have the whole crew here this morning, which is Tony the Tyler, and Woo Clop, which we call Tyler S. As always. Second Covenant, which is Jeremy,
What's up, guys?
and I save the best for last. Brain Clamor, my brother Dustin. How about that?
Howdy, howdy.
So, in this week's episode, we really wanted to talk about the latest news with the Microsoft Activision deal and what that really means for gaming moving forward. And uh, a new piece of concept art was shown off for The Last of Us Factions. So we want to kind of speculate on what we believe that could be and when we think we'll be getting to see a good chunk of it. So to start us off, we'll talk about the Activision Blizzard deal. Now, yesterday, Microsoft came out and said that they were going to close the deal without the FTC's approval. So they're pretty much calling the FTC's bluff. Like, well, if you want to sue us, take us to court over it, the burden of proof is on the FTC, right? Like we all agree with that, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
we all fundamentally agree that if the FTC wants to sue Microsoft for competitive reasons, the burden of proof is on the FTC to prove that it's anti-competitive, right?
Yeah,
I
this is the
mean,
first I've heard of this though.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
I didn't hear about that.
Microsoft is saying like, hey, we're going to close this deal. We're going to close it, and then if you take us to court, you can force us to sell off the company after we've bought it, but we're buying it.
no, because I think
I
the
like
courts
that
can block
approach.
that sale. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, the courts can't block the sale, but what Microsoft is saying is, as long as it's taking you, if you want to stop the deal, you're going to have to prove that it's anti-competitive. If you can't do
Yeah, but
that
what
right
I'm
now,
saying is the court can put a temporary block on a sale. It don't gotta be a
the
permanent
court,
block till they get this stuff ironed out. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
It
the
can just be a
judge,
temporary block, and
already
it
ruled
would
that.
be.
Yeah, I think they already said that the judge ruled that he wouldn't block it, or that the FTC is having trouble with the deal, or something like that. Um, we can get more into that, but to start off with, I'll be looking up this information as we talk. But what's your guys' general overall opinion of the deal in the first place? Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? I've talked enough already, so you guys kind of take the floor.
So, so you asking if it hurts gaming?
Yeah, like just
What it
in
does for
general, do you
gaming,
think
yeah.
it's good for competition? Do
Are you
you
Um,
for it or against
dislike
it
the
to start
deal?
off? I guess is a
Yeah,
yeah.
good
yeah.
If I'm
way to
being
start.
honest, yeah. If I'm being honest, I am. I think I'm against it.
Okay.
Why?
Do you want me to? Because
Yeah,
I feel like we now live in a time where having games exclusive to one platform is kind of ignorant. I mean, with crossplay being one of the newest, biggest features that PC gaming and console gaming have, like together, adding certain games, and of course, when you're talking Blizzard Activision, you're talking two of, I mean, off the top of my head, two of the biggest multiplayer games that released this year. Definitely the most talked about, which is Call of Duty and Overwatch. So you're talking if that would go against Sony, for instance. I mean, when you're talking PC and Xbox, I guess they could work that route. But if they try to exclude PlayStation, then that would be a deal that would end up hurting the players. So I'm definitely against it.
not just the players, the competition overall. Like
Well,
you're
don't
gonna have a
talk.
lockdown.
We'll talk about that later because, like I said, I fundamentally disagree with the competitive nature of it in the first place, like we talked yesterday, right? But
Yeah.
uh, I think that, like I said,
All right.
what
Let's
yeah.
let's
Move
see
on.
what Jeremy thinks.
Before, hold on. Before that, I actually found the website. It's on WindowsCentral.com. I want to give them the credit on this. This was uploaded 14 hours ago, and it says Activision Blizzard Xbox deals latest. UK regulator delays decision. Microsoft ready for possible FTC federal showdown. And this is actually what it says. It says In preliminary hearings, the FTC has revealed that Microsoft is ready to close the deal without the FTC's tacit approval, potentially setting the stage later for a federal court showdown. Right? Microsoft has also said
Okay.
that after the acquisition, or no, Microsoft said that it will present any potential concessionary remedies it reaches to the FTC as an option to avoid a court showdown while signaling that it is ready and willing to do so. So they're saying, hey, once we
Ooh,
buy them, we'll
interesting.
offer these concessions that we promised, like releasing on Nintendo and stuff like that. But we're going to move forward with the we're going to close this deal without your approval, and then the burden of proof will be on you
But I
to.
do have a question real quick. Is that is that like a written agreement that they'll release on these other consoles, or is that like
No, it would
just
be
a verbal
contract.
consent?
No.
Okay,
In
okay.
fact, I don't know if you saw where they actually offered, and that's pretty much confirmed. They offered Sony to 10 years of Call of Duty, and not only 10 years
I
of Call of
saw
Duty,
that.
but
I
it
saw that.
releasing actually on PlayStation
The,
Plus. They offered to let Call of
but
Duty for the next 10
hold,
years release on
hold on,
PlayStation
hold
Plus.
on. But that's what's kind of funny, right? And I think we would. Well, I can't speak for these guys, but I think that's where I kind of come in. Like 10 years is fast.
It
Yeah,
is.
Like
it
10 years
It
is a
is.
blink. So
Takes
whenever you're thinking of
5 years
like
to
that's a
create a good
single
game. Yeah.
console, that's a single console generation. So of
Yeah.
course, if we're being honest, of course Sony right now is like, no. This is bad because in a matter of 10 years, we won't have
Because it
Call of
hurts
Duty
them. Yeah.
unless, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
Microsoft already lied. That's why the UK is blocking it. They said they weren't going to make exclusives when they bought
With
Bathsheba. That's
Bethesda.
the reason the UK, and they lied to
oh,
the
that is
UK
true.
about that.
Yeah, that is
So
Jeremy's
they
true.
lied
quoting
That
about
is
that
Bible
true.
here,
already.
Bathsheba.
Yeah, and that's Starfield and I can't think of
Bathsheba.
the other game. But no, but I'm
Bathsheba.
just saying, like they already lied. So I
Yeah.
mean, are you going to trust them
Bethesda,
this
yeah.
time? No. They're going to do once they get it. They can do what they
I
wanted to
I
before.
agree. So hold on before we get into Jeremy. I do want to start with Tyler and Tyler S because we never heard them at all yesterday in this debate, really.
Yeah, Jeremy's
Right.
long-winded, so
So
I am. I
let's start
agree.
with let's start with Tyler whichever Tyler wants to go actually.
You can go, Taylor.
Well, I'm gonna try. A little sick
I'm gonna
today.
try.
That's Tyler
So,
S right there, guys. So you know.
I'm not against it. I like it. Because Microsoft has been pushing for cross-play between all platforms for a minute. And
Yeah.
it's been hard to do with Sony. So if they do acquire it and they get Call of Duty, which I know it's already cross-play, but it makes it to where more games are going to have to be cross-play.
Yeah, but why are they
hmm.
doing it for, Tyler? That's my question.
The
Make more
money.
Why is
money.
Microsoft pushing for
Because they
for
can.
for a cross? No, because they're losing. They're losing the console war. So of course you're going to
Look,
want that. You know what I mean? Like
Jeremy's done stealing Tyler S's segment.
no. I'm just asking why. Like
He's a real
why is
Stephen A. ain't
Xbox
skipping
wanting that
over
I
his
for?
head.
That's a good
I
question,
think
right, Tyler?
the only reason
Like
they're losing the console war is because they have Game Pass on PC, and PC is a much better thing to play on than the Series X.
Dang respect, man.
That's the only
I
reason
like
why I can
that.
see them
that's
losing
a
the
good
console
response.
war.
Yeah, good
That
response.
is. That's a perfect
well,
response.
well, that's not the only reason they're losing their games just suck
No,
right now too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
No,
that
but I
Game
mean,
Pass
what
on
Tyler said
PC
is
makes a
right.
big difference.
Oh,
It
it
does. I
100%
mean, here
does. I just said I
we all
regretted
have
getting my
Xbox
Series
Series.
X.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We all have
I
Series
should have bought a
X's, but
PC.
yet what do we play on? We play on console, but
The
yet what did
superior
we say we
console.
should have got? We should have got PCs, which I mean, I
A
did.
PC and a PlayStation in your set. That's all you need.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
good
So
I'm
response.
not against it.
all right. So that's so far we have Dustin that is a nay, Tyler S which is a yay, and no go ahead
Yay.
Tyler. Male.
Did I really hold on for 1 second? Did I understand Tyler S though? I don't understand fully why. I mean, maybe we all didn't even completely confirm on this, but why is Xbox wanting this this it to go multi-platform? If they were winning, my question would be: they not want to keep it console exclusive like Sony is right now? Like, do you think it has anything to do with it?
No, it's money, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's just money.
yeah.
Can't ever have too much.
No, man, power. If you can, yeah, man. But if you can control
We're
the
all
gaming
for.
market
I
with
hate to put it
console, it's
like
Right.
this,
big, man.
but here's what I'm thinking Microsoft is trying to do. They're trying to be like Disney,
Right?
own
Yeah,
every
yeah.
competitor. That way they get all the money.
Exactly.
Because their own studio can't make a great game. They're like, hey, let's buy someone that can.
Right.
Exactly.
But
That's what
and
Big
Sony did.
studios.
hold on before we get into that, because again that is accurate. But can you blame them?
No.
Nah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh well.
No one runs their
Even though
mouth.
I
I'm
had a
just saying, no one
nay.
runs their mouth whenever Sony buys Bluepoint, which makes great remasters and stuff. Like whenever
No,
they,
I agree. That's
right?
true. And
Yeah,
even though I had a nay, it's not that I don't blame them for doing it. You know what I mean? If I could buy
Yeah.
Hawaii, I would do it.
Like
You know what I mean?
Sony
I
just
just think
bought
it's
Insomniac. No one, everyone was like, makes sense, makes sense. It's like, well, maybe it didn't make that much sense to Microsoft, who is struggling to make good games on their console anyway, or to
yeah.
make
But as Rambo
Spider-Man an
said,
exclusive whenever every
YouTuber's
Spider-Man game
good.
before that was on Xbox.
yeah. If I'm Microsoft, I agree. I'm fighting it tooth and nail. Yeah. This is fine. This is great. This is great. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah. As soon as I get this, we're gonna have a stranglehold on the
And that's my only
multiplayer
point. You
industry and the
can't
gaming
blame
market,
Microsoft for saying,
and they're
"Listen,
going to be in trouble."
you're making
Like, you know what I
acquisitions.
mean?
We can make bigger ones." Like I fully we all recognize these are corporations. They don't care about you. They care about your dollar, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay,
But
so it poses me to ask one question, then I don't want it to go too far. But do you think the whole reason why the FC the
FTC,
yeah is trying to block that is simply because it's not fair. It's like a millionaire waving their money in the
oh,
air like I got
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
I can buy that.
absolutely.
Whereas Sony's sitting
Not
over
only
there like
that,
rubbing some coins together in the
anybody
comparison
making
to
a
them and Microsoft.
$69 billion deal, it already
Exactly, and
sounds
I think that might be what
anti-competitive,
it
right?
is not
Like,
that it's hurting the
Yeah,
gamers, is that
if
it's
you
just
have
not fair
yeah.
that
$69
one
billion
person can afford it.
liquid to spend on something, everyone's already going to look at you like, man, that's a lot of cash. You must be doing
Yeah.
something.
Do you guys know what the vote was for the
It
last
was three
vote
to
for them
four,
to turn it down? 3-1.
3-1. Okay, yeah, I knew it was three to
3-1.
something.
Oh,
3-1.
dang.
So there was one person that voted for it. Three of them voted
He
against
was
it.
a
So
rich one in the lobby.
had a share of Microsoft something.
Okay,
This is
so
great.
I don't want to take Tyler's
We're
time
just
up.
well, I don't know
So
that for a fact. So don't take that
so
to
Tyler
heart,
Mail,
guys.
what do you think? So we have one yes, one no so far.
I mean, I'm for it. Let them go ahead and do it.
So two
I'm just go
yeses.
ahead and do it. Yeah, I'm
See what
for it.
happens. Roll the dice.
Hold on. So what? But what do you think about it, Tyler? I'm really want to get your input because I've noticed on a couple of these podcast episodes you don't really say a whole lot. So I want to give you the floor.
Well, that's because I'm babysitting, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
I
fine.
agree. Um,
Tyler Mail's got his son this evening. So if you hear a little boy talking, that's just Casson. We love him. We don't mind. He's fine.
Get
but
his input next.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm for it. I don't see why not. Um, if that would make Sony put out so many better multiplayer games to go against Call of Duty.
Mm,
And
interesting.
Overwatch. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
as the
Overwatch
Overwatch
still
biggest
is
hasn't
not a
Overwatch
come.
fan,
problem, bro.
yeah, I was gonna say, as the biggest Overwatch fan in
Jeremy,
this lobby, I'm
yeah,
telling you all right now, like this
Jeremy was bringing
second
that
one
up
was a
yesterday. It's like
highly
Overwatch, what
disgraceful.
man? Like, I'm
I miss Overwatch one.
Overwatch is
Overwatch.
unique in the
I,
market, though. That's
I
what I'm saying.
guarantee you,
Like,
if The Last of Us Factions is anywhere, or if Sony is as smart as what I hope they are, and they release that game like cross play or whatever, imagine. Well, no, we aren't going to get into that right now because that's the next topic. But Sony has right now games that could compete with Overwatch numbers wise. I'm not saying like when Overwatch was at peak. I'm saying right now, Overwatch is not
Yeah,
that popular, dude. You know, it's not Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's not Call of Duty. It's not.
Valorant.
Apex or yeah,
Yeah, but
it's
it's still
the
unique in the
popularity is
market,
waned.
man. Like that's what I keep coming back to.
Yeah, but
Like,
Sony is the king of
name
unique,
another
man.
multiplayer game that's like Overwatch, man.
But
This
you
reason I
can't
can
name
keep going
another game
back
that's
to
like.
Overwatch because
But
it's
you can't
completely
name
separate in
another
the market.
game like The Last of Us uh, uh, Part One's multiplayer, even right? Like
Oh, I
Sony's the
agree.
king
I
of
agree.
the king of unique.
Yeah, and I actually didn't like that either. It being exclusive. I mean, I've never liked the idea of
So again, I
exclusivity.
don't want
So
to take Tyler's time up with us talking. Really, Tyler, like get into the nitty gritty. Like what do you see if this deal is good for gaming, in particular with Sony? Like what do you see them
Oh, I
changing
already told you why it would be
to
good for
to
Sony if Microsoft did acquire Activision.
yeah? But what I'm saying is like what do you expect to see from Sony?
Uh, Maybe like a new Resistance or Killzone to compete with it. Uh,
Yeah,
I mean, when Call of Duty was the one that was getting all the map packs and everything first, I mean, honestly, there was a lot better multiplayer games on PlayStation then.
Now, do you think
ain't
those are
that the truth?
console sellers, Tyler?
What is it?
Well, we talked about
I
this
mean,
yesterday.
do you think those games are console sellers that would sell this? Well, I know it won't sell the same as well. Actually, I want to know what you think. Do you think it would sell the same as like Call of Duty could?
Oh, like Killzone and Resistance? Absolutely not. But they'd still make good money off of it. Especially as Last of Us comes out, and it's free to play. I could see it, especially if they put it over on PC.
Yeah, active like
That's
we'll talk more about that too. But like Last of Us Factions has the potential to be way bigger than Call of Duty.
Hmm.
If that game comes out free to play, cross play on PC and PlayStation, that game
did
could
they
be
announce
what
that?
Halo. No, they haven't. They haven't
Did they
announced
announce it if it's
anything.
man, like did they announce if it was
That's
coming to
speculation.
PC?
No, 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 no. But if they're smart, it does. I don't.
You think
Uh,
it? You think so?
yeah, I mean, if you're spending 3, 4 years making a multiplayer game that big and you're not releasing it across different multiple platforms, let's be honest, we're console gamers. But
But that's what
if you have a
sells the
multiplayer game
console.
and it's not on PC, what are you doing?
Yeah, but that's what sells the console, and that's where I feel like with Xbox doing their acquisition of Blizzard
Well,
and
then again, that's not anti-competitive on Microsoft's part. That's just Sony making stupid decisions.
what decision
I
are you
guess
talking
that's
about,
true. I
view?
guess that's
If
true.
you're making a multiplayer game and you're making a huge open world, which that's already confirmed. If The Last of Us Factions is a huge open world extraction type shooter and you're not releasing it on PC and you're only releasing on PS5, that's stupid of them. You want your game to blow up, you want it to be huge, you release it on PC. I'm saying this as
Still
someone
because of
that doesn't
streamers,
play
I guess.
PC.
That'd be a huge thing.
Call of Duty is as big as it is because of PC streamers and PC players. Name one streamer that you know that you actually watch consistently that is playing on a console.
I think Doctor Disrespect loves controller.
Oh yeah, he does, but he still plays on his PC with the controller. You know?
No, no, no. He hates aim assist. He reminds
Yeah.
me of someone that just completely.
So that makes okay. So Tyler S is for it, right? Tyler
He's
Mail
for it.
is for it. Dustin's against. So
I'm
that's
all by myself.
and now we'll move to Jeremy.
Now we'll move to Jeremy. Okay. First off, I want to
You
say,
knew it was gonna get heated, like with Jeremy. Jeremy's like, first off,
He
number
probably took a
first
drink
one.
of
off, I want to
Sprite.
say
Before-
it
Listen, Eddie.
it's crazy to even we'll call it entertain the idea that it's not going to have a huge effect on the industry, right?
No, yeah,
Like,
that's
and the
of course
question
I
would be,
agree.
how big of an effect? Is it too big of an effect, or is it all right? Can the industry handle it? I personally don't think it can. And the reason I don't think it can is because, okay, so for instance, we all like unique games. Sony does unique games. You know what I mean? Like, I think back in the old Xbox 360 days. You had Gears of War, and everyone knew Xbox was shooters, right? Like we all knew that. That was we accepted that. They felt good on the Xbox, and then we turned to Sony for all the other unique stuff. So if we're going to pull resources for that from Sony, then we're gonna lose other great games we could have had. I mean, do you guys at least agree with that? Like the
No,
even if Sony can handle that,
no.
I mean,
The industry adjusts, right? The industry adjusts. I look at it
yeah, but
like they have multiple teams working anyway on a lot of these things. And maybe if Sony was more focused on releasing new content and still being that industry leader when it comes to unique stuff instead of remastering every single one of their older games, we would have more new games on PS5.
But with that said, I want a remaster of Resistance. Continue.
Yeah, that's what we talked about that yesterday too, man. Dustin, did you know the rumors are swirling right now that Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remaster next?
Yeah, I heard of that, and I think it's
How
ridiculously stupid.
stupid! How stupid is that, man?
It won't sell very well.
No,
No.
no. Who the heck wants that, man? I loved Horizon. I have the first one collector edition. There's zero. I have no interest in a remaster. They're remastering games that are playable on your PS5 right now. That's ridiculous to me.
But Sony, if you're listening, I definitely want to play Call of the Mountain. So if you want to send me a VR, I will review it for you.
So, Jeremy, continue though, right? I don't think. I think the industry will adjust.
see,
Is
my
my
problem with
response
that
to
whole
that.
idea is we can't see into the future. Like okay, for instance, I don't know, probably 10 years back, um, wasn't it Chevrolet filed for bankruptcy and the government bailed them out because they couldn't pay their bills? Like, do we want that to happen in the console industry where they gotta file bankruptcy and all we're going to have left is going to be Microsoft or Xbox in this case? Because let's
But
be honest, yeah, we
no,
Nintendo isn't really competing in this market,
hold on.
not high end.
Nintendo
Nintendo
makes
makes
more
more
money
than
than Microsoft.
I know that, but they're not competing in the high end market with the over powerful
But that's
consoles. I
my
mean,
point.
when you think of the most
You
powerful
pick your
consoles in the
lane.
market, it's
You pick your lane, right? If Sony wants to dominate the single player AAA space and Microsoft owns the multiplayer like with the 360 generation, the PS3 came back and beat the Xbox 360 despite the Xbox 360 being the king of multiplayer, right? So Sony can still compete. And if
yeah,
Sony
but the only
doesn't
reason it
like
did that
that
is because of
multiplayer,
games, though,
and if Sony doesn't like
right?
that multiplayer, space being owned, I agree with Tyler. Obviously, I'm going to be a yay, right? Because for me, it's like, compete with them. Make a Resistance battle royale, make a Killzone battle royale if that's where you feel like you need to go. Which I don't think battle royales are all the craze anymore anyway. Make an extraction shooter out of Killzone or something, right? Make a brand new IP with an extraction or a new SOCOM or
Yeah,
something.
but it's
Like
not that
you
easy to
can
do,
compete.
man. Like if it was easy to do, you'd have 100 AAA
Competition
titles
isn't
release
supposed to
multiplayer
be
games
easy.
amazing every year,
Mm.
huh?
Why does Microsoft say like, well, that would be hard for you, so we'll make it a little easier? No, competition
So
is supposed to be hard.
Microsoft says no,
Push
we're going to
each
buy
other.
that company, so we ain't got to deal with it.
But
That's what
Sony does
Microsoft does.
the same thing, and no
Hate
one
us
bats
because
an
you
eye.
hate us.
Hey, we'll buy Bungie, one of the best, if not the best, uh, FPS makers
That
in the
was
entire industry.
stupid decision.
But here's the thing, Dust. We were talking about this yesterday. Could Sony not say like, "Oh, you bought Call of Duty," and then the next day walk into Blizzard's off or not Blizzard, but Bungie's office and be like, "That game right there, there's no way that releases on Xbox. We have to release that
I
on."
don't know. I don't know how
Sony
they
owns
played that out.
Bungie. That's the thing. It's like
'Cause
Bungie can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, they are now under the umbrella of Sony.
I would almost think there had to be some kind of written part in that agreement.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and it's all
Because at the
speculation.
day,
But
the day that they were even talking about acquiring them, Bungie was so quick to come out and be like,
just
"Listen,
correct me.
we're still."
But just correct me if I'm wrong. Did Microsoft not say the same thing with Call of Duty?
Yeah, but they
They're
also
still going to
changed their
release
mind
on. We're going to
for the
treat it
next
like
10 years.
Minecraft. We're going to treat it like Minecraft. It'll release on every. It'll release on every platform. We have no interest in taking Call of Duty away from players.
Yeah, that's just a verbal agreement. I'll put this out here.
Well,
If
we don't
they
know
take
what the
and
agreement
release
with
the
Bungie is,
contract,
right? It could
the
be a
written
10-year
contract that's
contract.
being signed,
Yeah.
if they release a written contract that's going to be signed for everybody to read, then okay, because then you can get sued over a written contract. If it's verbal, I mean, it's just that.
I'm just saying, everyone wants it to be easy for Sony, and my only point is, it's not supposed to.
Well, it's never
Competition,
easy.
competition is
That's why it's
supposed to be
called
hard.
Civil War.
But Sony doesn't compete anymore. Sony doesn't have any reason to.
I mean, they don't compete. They make exclusive games all the time.
They make sequels now, right? They make sequel after
Yeah.
sequel, and I'm not saying they're not good sequels. They're, well, some of them,
Bangers.
yeah. But they don't make original content anymore, hardly. When it comes to
Yep.
multiplayer. Actually, I can't think of the last multiplayer game Sony made. Microsoft might be failing, but at least they're trying.
Dang.
The Last of Us.
Bro, you're talking 10 years ago?
Yeah. 10 years ago.
Exactly. That's my point, man.
Be longer than 10, wasn't it?
No,
Didn't
this
Last
is
of Us come
actually,
out on PS3?
yeah, this is the 10th anniversary of The Last of Us, though, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone looks at Microsoft like
Feels
they're the bad
longer.
guy, and it's like, were they not supposed to? They're a bigger company. Are they supposed to say, like, it's not fair for us to do this to Sony, so, we'll make smaller acquisitions? No.
No, I ask Microsoft to be fair. I'm asking for them to fight. Yeah, fight all you can fight for that. But we, as we'll call a competitive non-monopoly type, you know, place or whatever, United States, or
Well,
whatever.
here's the
We shouldn't say, yeah, go ahead and do that.
well, then here's the next question. Dustin, Tyler S, everybody, do you think the deal goes through? I think it does. I think despite
Oh,
what people want, I
100%
100%
goes
think it
through.
goes through.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah, I
happens.
don't. Enough money
Um,
to make
If
anything happen.
yeah.
I think it. I don't want it to. I think it will because I think there'll be concessions made, and honestly, I think that they'll actually come out with some sort of press release of the contract so you can see. Like that's the only way I see this going through because verbal communication promises by Microsoft isn't going to work this time because they already lied. So I don't want it to. It probably will, but I don't think it'll go through in the shape that it's in right now.
Okay, so we got Jeremy's answer finally. Took that long, but so you're a nay. You're with me.
No, I think it will. I don't want
No,
it
no,
to.
no, no. I'm
You
saying
just
to
don't
Oh
want
you.
yeah,
it
yeah,
to.
You don't want it
yeah.
to.
I don't want it to. No,
Okay.
I
I don't
think
think
it.
So
the industry can handle it.
I don't think it. Or I think it'll go through as well.
so
I
we all
don't.
agree it goes through.
Yeah, it
We're all
goes
in
through.
agreement it goes through.
Just not how it is right now, though. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I think it goes through exactly how it is now, and I actually think if Sony doesn't, Sony will regret not taking the deal here shortly if they don't take the
Three to
deal.
one the vote, though. I mean, you got to
It
turn
doesn't
three
matter.
people.
It doesn't matter. Like I've told you, the FTC can sue to block, but they're not the ones actually blocking. They're just saying,
Yeah, but
hey,
the
we don't
FTC
think this
believes
is
it is
fair.
going to be a competition problem. That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't
Like,
matter
how
what the
is the
FTC
courts
says
not going to look at that and see the same thing?
because the burden of proof is on the FTC. The FTC has to prove that it's anti-competitive.
Oh, I agree. I agree, and I think it will. I don't think
In
it
what
voted
Why?
against it
way? In what
unless it's
way?
going to. Well, for one, two actually, Call of Duty and
Especially with
Overwatch.
Microsoft saying, "Hey, we're making a deal for a decade or more, so Sony has plenty of time to make competitors." Um, you know what I mean? Like, all I'm saying, dude, is if the Disney deal went through, how in the world does this? Like the Disney deal we talked about yesterday was way more anti-competitive than this deal, in my opinion.
So you think it will go through, but do you like it though? Like, you think
Yeah, we
it's
never got.
inevitable? Do you agree with it because you think that it's going to go through regardless? And like, yeah, just see what happens, or
Yeah, we ain't
are you
got to
like
hear
us?
Lil Guns. We ain't got to hear Lil Guns input on this.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, I talk more than anybody.
No, you really. We haven't heard what you said on this yet.
See, here's the thing, man. I like Call of Duty, but I don't think Call of Duty is what Microsoft thinks it is when it comes to a system seller. Like, I will not buy, like, I have an Xbox, but if Call of Duty goes Xbox exclusive, I'll play it. That's what I was saying yesterday. So instead of playing Call of
Well,
Duty for
here's the
three
thing.
months, I'll play it for, a couple weeks on Xbox. Like, it's not going to generate, in my opinion, what it used to, especially if you have, again, competitors that are making smarter games than, you know, Battlefield is about, you know what I mean? Like, there's games that can compete, man. They're
Every
100%
major streamer streaming Call of Duty though. Do you not think that helps sales
on
consoles
PC.
also though?
No,
It doesn't
that's
matter. It's
on
still going to help
PC,
sell.
man.
It's still going to help sell the console if you can
All
only get
these
it one.
kids, is, we talked about this yesterday. All these kids want PCs anymore. Ain't nobody asking their uh, mom and dad if they can. You know, they're wanting PCs to play Fortnite and Call of Duty like Tim the Tatman, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
Luke
mean,
has no
I can
Well,
interest.
see that.
Honest to God, Luke has no interest. Like, he's got a PlayStation
honestly,
5. He has no interest in it. If I could get him like a $1,200 PC, he would never want another PlayStation or you know what I mean?
Yes, that's the problem though. The money part. Like that's why console's always going to be the go-to. I feel because
I feel like
PCs you
consoles are
have to
more
upgrade every
older.
year and
I'm
stuff
just being
like
honest.
that.
I feel like consoles are more older guys thing.
well, you see that they're putting Game Pass on like these TVs and being able to just stream the game. So it's like,
Yeah,
dude, I just bought a
I
TV that
think,
came
and we
equipped with
talk.
Game Pass. So
I think Microsoft just wants to sell Game Pass subscriptions. I don't really think they're worried about
yeah,
their console. I'm pretty sure they've said that.
yeah.
So
They
if
already
I had,
said they ain't trying to compete with Sony.
I'm honestly, I'm for the deal. I don't care one way or another. I feel like, you know, Sony, Sony will figure it out, man. I think Sony is used to getting things its way, um, and it wants that to continue. So it's fighting it as hard as tooth and nail, right? But obviously, I think the deal goes through. But I also
They
think,
just trying to prolong it.
yeah, I
What do you
think
mean Sony's used to getting it their way? I don't understand that.
Sony has been the dominant console since Sony started making consoles.
Yeah, but no, it earned that. Like when Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 came out, Xbox was the
I'm
had
not
the
saying
market.
I'm
You know
not
what I mean?
saying
Like it earned that.
I'm not saying
So
it. I'm not
it's not used to getting its way.
well. There was only
It's
one
fought
time
for.
where it in my opinion, uh, earned it. Not yeah, but like the PS3 generation, they clawed back tooth and nail. But like I feel with the PS4 generation, PS5 generation, Sony has gotten lazy.
What's the first game you guys think of on the PS3? Whenever you think of a PS3?
Glenn
For
knows
me,
mine.
Yeah,
uh, Killzone 2.
Yep.
I'd say Uncharted to you. That was the first one.
What do you think mine is,
Mm,
Glenn?
Oh, Metal Gear
Having no
Solid,
Metal
sword.
Guns of the
Gear.
Patriots.
Metal Gear Solid 4, yep.
mm.
Yeah,
Not
Mine's
even a
Black
question.
Ops 2. It was my first online game I ever played.
was it?
Really?
Yep, because
See,
PlayStation was free and Xbox wasn't.
That's
so
yeah.
now to kind of, you know, very in a very fluid way move on to another topic, one that kind of still has to do with the Blizzard deal, right? The Activision
Yeah.
deal. Um, Last of Us factions. We got some more information on that this week. Um, we know that it's going to have to be a huge game, that it's something that we've never seen before, right?
Hmm.
Do any of us expect to see a release or like a early access release or beta or anything this year?
I'd say not this holiday season, but next holiday season we'll end up getting a beta like next spring.
I don't know. It's been what, 2 or
Three,
3 years since
three.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him pushing it for Christmas this year. Pushing it.
Like for a beta or like early access or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pushing it.
What about you, Jerry?
I wouldn't be surprised if they have a beta early access. I don't know about what we call that. You got 4 semesters, whatever you call them, inside of a year. The
Quarter?
second
Quarter.
quarter. Yeah,
You going
4
to
semesters.
college?
4 semesters.
second quarter. I wouldn't be surprised
Um,
for the beta. And if it's not, then it's like, man, you guys are spending way too long on
see,
this
that just
game.
excites me, man.
I do not think you see one because
I
if
don't
we
either.
all remember correctly, the Last of Us multiplayer, we didn't even get a trailer for that until like I think it was the night before the game released.
Yeah, it was
We didn't know
crazy.
what we were getting.
Yeah, I agree on that.
But they did
But
have
it's
betas
such a
for all
different
the
game, though.
Uncharted games, man.
Then Walmart act like they didn't have it, remember?
Yeah, oh my, worst midnight release ever.
Yeah.
Um, so the reason I wanted to, move into Last of Us Factions is I feel like The Last of Us Factions could potentially be one of those games that competes with Call of Duty. Not obviously as a first person shooter, but just as sort of like something like Fortnite and Apex and stuff where it just kind of like takes over, like the mind share,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you
It's
know.
hard for me to deal with what ifs, though. Like, that's my problem. Is,
Yeah,
there's
you
a lot
have
of
no
hype around a lot of
imagination,
different
man.
games, so
If you had a better imagination, you would be able to
just
see that.
yeah, but
Jeremy.
like I keep thinking back to when what's it called? No Man's Sky. Like it was overhyped like crazy. I remember telling you guys like I can't see it doing everything it says it's going to
Indie
do. I'm so excited to
developer,
play it.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But my
Sony's
point is
backing with
overhyped
hundreds of millions of
potential.
dollars versus 12 people in
Yeah,
an apartment
first time
building.
making a video game. Video game master.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be nuts whenever that game comes out.
Yeah,
I hope the
it's
gunplay will be so good.
Well, think
Although
of Anthem though,
with
right? Like it's what we're going by.
bro, BioWare never ever even touched multiplayer really apart from Mass Effect 3, and it was EA's doing in a lot of ways, cuz EA is such a terrible publisher, kind of forced them into this whole stupid live service type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think no, well, I don't think we all know Naughty Dog does what Naughty Dog wants. So if this is something that they've spent 3 years on, it's something that they've wanted to spend 3 years on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets me
Especially
excited.
if it was so good and they pulled it out from part two. They're like, no.
And Sony must have saw the fact like, okay, this is going to be huge. Yeah, spend as much time as you need. We'll release it as a full experience on its own. Like that's again, man. And not only
so you
that,
think it's gonna be a system seller then? Is my question. Is that what you're
I
hinting
think
toward then?
if it's only on PlayStation, it's 100% a system seller. Okay. If it's on PC and PlayStation 5, I think it's still obviously a system seller, but it is, again, I'm not saying you don't want to sell systems, but the point of consoles it really isn't to make money on the consoles, it's to make money on the
They
software,
lose money
right?
making
Most of the
consoles.
time, yeah, they lose money or they break even on a console sale. They're not really worried about the console making them money. They need you to buy games from their studios,
Jeremy
right?
said, ain't getting a dollar out of me.
So if they release Last of Us Factions free to play on PC and they start making money hand over fist on microtransactions, and we know Naughty Dog loves their microtransactions in their multiplayer games, okay? Too much.
Yeah,
They're one of the worst offenders when it comes to microtransactions in games, okay? They're going to make
yeah,
so much freaking money off this game, so much more than what they have over any of Last Part 1 or Part 2 combined, man. They're going to make an insane amount of money if they release it again. But it comes down to Sony being smart. If you want your games to compete with Microsoft, well, then you have to start releasing your games like Microsoft. Um, and I think too, we're starting to see other developers that are going to start competing with Microsoft in ways that are not necessarily with Microsoft, but with Call of Duty in ways that we don't fully understand yet. I think this whole extraction shooter craze is going to bring about like a Midnight Society releasing Dead Drop, right? Like I think, and they've already confirmed that game's going to be on console. I think that game has a chance to blow up. Doctor Disrespect's game is the one I'm talking about. 100 Thieves and Nade Shot. They're releasing a first person shooter extraction game, I think. So like we're gonna start seeing a lot more developers making weird extraction style first person shooters, and that'll be what dominates the market.
But how many years have we talked about we hated Call of Duty having a stranglehold on the
But
multiplayer industry?
but they
Like,
don't have
and
a
it's
stranglehold
never.
anymore, in my opinion.
I feel
Nah.
like they do for that particular type of player, though.
They have.
Like,
That's what I said when it comes to competition, man. It gives and takes. That's what makes it competition. Right now, Call of Duty is the most popular uh, uh, shooter because it's a battle royale. It's free to play. You think if Apex Legends 2 comes out tomorrow and it would be vastly different than Apex Legends 1, that it wouldn't instantly be more popular than Warzone 2? Because it would.
Oh, 100%.
Or Epic makes a new Fortnite type extraction shooter, or that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at Fortnite, Apex, Valorant, Call of Duty, they all give and take. Their popularity comes and goes. Battlefield would have actually, and Halo both would have been up there if they weren't mismanaged by their publishers, right?
That,
Yep.
Like if Battlefield's, what was it even called? What was that mode or whatever? Like
What, their battle royale?
Hazard.
God, their battle royale was terrible, but Hazard, right?
Yeah.
It's like if they would
Hazard's
have
name.
released first of all, like Mike or like Call of Duty, like, hey, we're gonna release this mode free to play, and it would have actually been decent. It would have done well. If Halo Infinite listened to its
Thought they would
community and
learn from
released the battle royale,
Firestorm.
right?
right.
Yeah.
If Halo Infinite was smart and listened to its community, then it would have released with a BR. They wouldn't have only been interested in the battle rifle. It would have been, yeah, we're interested in battle royale. We're not idiots, right? But obviously they are idiots, and you know what I mean. That's
Hmm.
what I'm saying. Like, there's not, there's plenty of opportunities for competition out there. You just have to, these these companies have to manage their IP better. And Sony's really, honestly, they're the king at that. That's why their games are good, not because you know of how unique they are. It's because of how well they manage them after they have a success. Like Microsoft has a success, and you can guarantee within 10 years they're going to run it into the ground. If anything, I look at the Call of Duty deal and I think, well, in about 10 years, Call of Duty is going to suck. Microsoft
Yeah.
always finds a way to kind of destroy something after they buy it. A lot like EA,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that was like speculation of what Fable of them
Having to
scratching
start back
Fable.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gears, another perfect example. Those games, I do not like them at all anymore. They've lost the,
Sucked.
yeah,
No,
they
they took it. We had to just sit there and make ourselves play through that.
yeah. Right after
Then
Gears
took
3,
6 months
man.
break until
Think about that. Right
get back and do the
after
last mission.
Microsoft bought them, boom. Do you really care about Gears anymore? Anybody? Is it the system seller it was whenever the first three came out? Nope.
Right.
Nah.
But I'm telling you right now, I do. I think Resistance and Killzone are like how you asked Tyler if they're system sellers.
Mhm.
I think they are because the reason that Resistance and Killzone didn't sell like Halo and Gears wasn't because they weren't amazing. It was because the Xbox 360 had a year head start, right? And
Mhm.
it had more consoles out there. You have so many PlayStation players now, man. Could you imagine how good, like, if they would just, like, which I don't
See how many
understand why they don't
PlayStations
do
they
that.
sold in December?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
30
that.
million.
Yep. But I don't understand why they don't do that. Could you imagine if they, like, remastered even just the multiplayers for Resistance 3 or and released it as a free to play with some skins and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Who wouldn't play it, man? I would download it right now. I'd buy some
Oh, I
skins and
would
stuff.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd make some
Yep,
money
I
off
love
me.
cosmetics.
Yeah. So that's my point. I think those games right now, since Sony is the console market leader, that those games would sell extremely well, man.
Oh, they
That's
would.
Call of Duty's downfall right now, in my opinion, is their skins suck.
Yeah, their store is
They're
absolutely
not
terrible.
making any money off Warzone 2 right now. There ain't no way.
Yeah, like who's breaking their neck to buy a $20 skin that you can't even tell? You can't even tell she looks that different. You know the black woman with
Yep.
the big gold coat. It's like, yeah, it was spending $20 on that, man. Retarded.
Yep.
So I guess that's where we all kind of stand when it comes to the deal. Then we
Yep, hate it.
we're all for it except for uh
We're all for it. I said I hate it. He said we're all for it.
we're all for it. No, so in the vein of the FTC, we're 3-2 4, right?
Yeah.
And we're 5 yes with no no's when it comes to does the deal go through. So we're all kind
With
of like
concessions, though. With concessions.
yeah, we're all kind of wishy-washy on if we want the deal to go through, but we're all in agreement that the deal does go through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think by summer it's already done.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see how the industry reacts. But
Mm.
well, with all that being said, I think that's the end of this podcast. Unless anyone has anything else they would like to add or bring up.
Yeah. One thing.
Okay.
If the deal does go through, like the summertime, like Tyler just said, I think Factions comes out a little bit sooner
You're probably right there. They're like,
to
man, we got to
battle it.
show this off.
He probably is right.
I
And
didn't
if
think
they
about
make
that,
it
but
an
yeah.
extraction shooter, they're going to sell so many more consoles.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
That's
crazy. That's what I
half the
think.
thing.
And I think Sony's on top of that, right? I think
Yep.
the extraction shooter is just now starting to become popular, and I think that's what Factions is, and I think that's why they're playing their cards so close to the vest because they probably realize they have something huge on their hands. I mean, the fact that nothing has leaked in 3 years is incredible. Like, think about
Yeah.
that. The
Yeah,
whole
Tom
Last of Us
Henderson
Part
would
2
be one.
story leaked before it released. And we don't have a single shred of information really apart from what Naughty Dog's releasing themselves on Factions. You know?
Yeah, go see what's
Yep.
good.
So that's a very good point, Tyler S. I actually agree with you.
I agree with him too.
Yeah. So, we'll all be excited to see what happens here within the next few months because I think the hearings are like scheduled for around April or something. So, like Tyler said, by spring or summer, we should definitely know what's going on with that. And yeah, we'll see how the market adjusts. Um, we hope you all enjoyed the podcast, and we hope you stick around for next week's.
Yeah,
Y'all
but
have
Don't
hold on
forget,
one second.
Sonny, I
Am I the only one
will.
worried that the FTC is only 4 people deciding this?
Jeremy had to like
4 people?
re-bring it up. Uh, no,
I'm just saying. I had to say that one last. Like, put that out there. Like that's kind of crazy. 4 people gets to decide this.
4 people get
That's
to decide if they think it's, but they don't actually decide anything. That's what I said. Like they say, like they all raise their hand and are like, we don't think that's fair, and then a judge says, like, well, regardless of what you think, it's fair. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I didn't do any research beforehand, but I would imagine the FTC had concessions and stuff that they had. Actually, we know Disney had to make concessions. They had to sell off the Fox Sports division and cut off some fat. You know what I mean? In order
Yeah.
for
So
the Disney
like I said,
Fox
there'll
deal
be
to go through.
concessions. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I can agree with that. I mean, we can all agree that's not a fair deal, though. So.
No, I never said it wasn't a fair deal.
Yeah. No.
That's the funny thing. I don't even. I mean, I have a Series X. I don't even and that I don't even play. So I should care about the deal as a PlayStation player. But it's Call of for me. It's like, man, it's Call of Duty and Blizzard. It's Call of Duty and Overwatch. Like, if that's what Xbox has, I guess that's what
Put
they
that.
have. Like, I don't really care. I'll find something else to play on my PlayStation, and whenever I get a hankering for Call of Duty, which I do sometimes, then I'll play on my Xbox for a couple weeks. Or hopefully, well, not hopefully. I tell you what, by the time it's not coming out on PlayStation anymore, I'd have myself a really solid PC, and then I just play it on PC. So it still wouldn't sell an Xbox.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
So I mean, 10 years from
So
now,
anybody out
Dustin,
there just wants a Xbox Series X, up to you for 400, even with the headset.
Tyler's trying to work his way up to that PSVR 2, aren't you?
I do want that VR.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
be
Well,
great.
everyone, we enjoyed having our discussion in the podcast this morning, and we hope everyone enjoyed the content. And drop a like, subscribe, but even more importantly than that, comment down below. Tell us what you think we could improve in the video. And we hope you all have a good day, nice day, whatever. Peace out.